Why, hello there, everybody. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Biotech, the first Wendigo, episode 105, Barracks. Alright, how's your health? Minor, common infant illness, so you're almost cured. Like one more tending and maybe you're cured. Cool. We need to make another baby xenogerm. Actually, 2 of them. So let's load the baby. And then we also want to reassess low, too. So actually, before I make that baby, let's reassess low, because that's more urgent, I think. Yeah. Running this colony for Wendy is very complicated. So the only things I really care about low at this point is crafting and medical. So we're going to make low as good crafting and medical as possible, disregarding all the other types of genes. I mean, having things like very happy are nice, but they're nice to haves, not need to haves. So let's recombine. Low, you are... What is your base? Your base is -1, -2, so -3, -4. So you have a metabolic efficiency of -4 with strong immunity, and I'm fine keeping strong immunity. I'm going to probably ditch super immunity and also ditch super fast wound healing, because low is not someone that should be shot at, like, ever. So -4. So low, we're going to give you very fast runner. Dead calm. Kind. Dark vision, gray eyes, robust, reduced pain. I didn't add kind. There's kind. And then we wanted you to have elongated fingers. We wanted you to have great crafting, great medical. Then I can do... I don't need to do awful shooting because you are going to be a shooter, so I'm going to keep you as shooting. But you're robust and reduced pain, so if you do get shot, it's not terrible. So we'll give you unattractive... Very happy. Awful cooking. Awful art. Awful plants. Poor animals. I don't have an awful melee, which is surprising. Poor social. Problem is, oh well, weak melee damage. But the problem is we're way over metabolic efficiency. So let's ditch very fast runner because it's very expensive. And then... This is tricky. It's expensive, right? I could give you awful intellectual. But you're still not in the acceptable range. I could give you extra pain and then do a pain blocker on you, actually. But that might... I'm going to get rid of reduced pain, actually. Because robust is useful for tanking, but reduced pain keeps you upright longer, which is actually kind of dangerous for someone that is potentially delicate. There's no more awfuls to add to you. So this template is, all right, bristly or whatever, is a, I'm trying to figure out how expensive this is. So this is a -3 paired with your -4. So I do need to add at least +2 on top of that. I really don't like the UI of doing gene design. There is definitely room for improvement. I actually might give you... Yeah, I might actually do the extra pain. Awful art, short hair. I already have awful art. So that would be a doubled up. Wouldn't help me at all. I could do weak melee damage. Weak melee damage wouldn't be unreasonable. Poor animals, poor social, awful intellectual, awful cook. Yeah. I could do weak mate. Well, let's not. Let's just do extra pain and have you have a pain stopper. I think that's pretty reasonable. Alright, let's start combining. So what I would do, Cathanon, if you're wondering, is when recombining, I would have it so that you could select the individual that you're building a xenogerm for, so that you can actually just have it calculate at the bottom the totals. That way you don't have to like do the mental math and get a screenshot or any of that jazz. Just be like, build a xenogerm for, and then like pick the person and see their germline genes. That's 100% easier than the current garbage, honestly, garbage system that currently exists. The current system is fine if like you're implanting baseliners, but if you're implanting hybrids, it's obnoxious. It's absolutely obnoxious because you have to like screenshot and then do math and then filter out like suppressed genes. It's really a terrible system. So yeah, I don't know how complicated that would be. To just be able to load an individual up top and then to be able to assign genes to them and then to have the total in the bottom. But that would be so much easier than what currently exists, which is a complete and utter headache. I do have the materials for additional cataphract helmets. Let's get 2 of those. One for Chimic, one for Midi. Actually, 3 of them. One for low as well. That shouldn't be too hard. Yeah. And I think it would be life-changing for, like, everybody. Again, I would also check if it doesn't already exist, because it's such a obvious solution that I would have a hard time believing that someone hasn't already done it. And I wouldn't want to waste your time with development if it already exists. I suppose another way to do it, well, no. I mean, that's not a good, never mind. I was going to say, oh yeah, you could just add in the genes that they have as germline genes, but then that assumes that you've already scanned those, which, you know, is obviously not the case for me. So, very dissatisfied with that batch of eggs, but we'll get something out of it, I think. Wendy is helping make components. Why, Orange Chaos, why are you pacing? There you go. That was weird. And the pod is ready. So this pod gives 122 to glitterworld Empire. It's not actually quite enough, but it's a start. Enemy now neutral. So I'm at 48. And if I want to get all the way up, I'll need to do another 27, which isn't too expensive. So let's send 27-ish worth of stuff. So I'm going to send the eggs that I don't want, keeping the door locked so they can't send any eggs that I wanted to keep. And then I'll also send some corsets and organs. Maybe I'll keep the organs. So once we repair the relationship, the next thing I would say to do, just any mech, would be to get that barracks started. So I'm trying to think logically what would be a good spot for it. I kind of like the current design of the whole thing being one giant complex. It makes me think that that the ancient complexes that you go to are kind of like weird construction projects, kind of like what Wendy has. In keeping with that theme, I think that my best bet is to put a barracks here-ish. It serves multiple purposes. It puts them really close to the kill box so that I can draft and go. It puts them close to the mech recharge zone, so they should be, even if they're sleeping, they should be close enough to the kill box for me to manually draft the mechs into position. And then I could also start storing weapons here, or something, I don't know. So, I like this spot. Let's mark down where the walls could go. Something like this. And I could even, I can even set it up as a barracks for slaves as well. So it's easily scalable. Yeah, so I think that's what I'll do. Let's get these doors closed. And then that cuts this into its own secure area, which is something that I would want to do. Cool. So one of the things I'm thinking about is to have this slave barracks down here as well. It will just be easier if they all had somewhere to sleep. So I'll continue this wall over like this, and then I'm going to cap it off like here, doubling it up here, and enclosing it, enclosing the bedroom. Something like this, moving this door down one and connecting it in an airlock instead of what it currently is, you know, having more airlocks. So something along the lines of this should do nicely. I don't love that though, this sort of gap area. So instead, let's keep it slightly simpler. Have an end here. Have steel door here and here. Doubled up walls. And then I can fill this back in and have the shelf here. I like that. This will work. And then once this structure is built, I'll knock this wall out. And then section off this area into two smaller sections, one for slaves and one for colonists. Hey, Red Dragons. Thank you for the resub. And I can always change this sort of design if I want. Alright, so the embryos that I wanted to keep that are locked behind walls are secured. And I needed 27. So this isn't enough, but whatever. That will be package number 2, and I guess I'll have to send more. More than I currently have on me for the rest. Maybe hand me down cataphract helmets and some corsets that I've yet to make. Or human leather. But probably corsets. I'd rather add value to them. Kath, I will let you drain some prisoners. Your regrow timer. We've done like 0.6 of a year. So you're almost a quarter into the process. It's not ridiculous. Also, I don't think I egg harvested you. So let me go do that real quick. I kind of forgot. Your baseliner, I can harvest your eggs. I'll probably need to re-enable slate block cutting. Although right now, all that we have is like granite blocks. Having the second builder bot's kind of nice. And then I'm breaking this down because I just want to change the way this airlock works. I can leave this slate door. No, I want to break that slate door too. Rep just fell with Inalore. Alright. I guess we're getting the seasonal rep change now. Which makes making an ally even a little harder. But that's okay. Lo, with your wonderful shooting skill of 0, I'm going to give you a Masterwork Sniper Rifle. Because you're also the repair mech bot controller that probably shouldn't get in the fray. Too dangerous. I'm also going to want a door that goes up this way too. Maybe I'll put it here. And that way we can pass through more easily. Chimmick, I think I'm going to put you in charge of crafting. You're lazy, but like, stone cutting is mostly a hauling job and not so much a work duration job. So you are going to be cutting some slate for me. There's so many corpses out there. So much food. So I've only got about 100 slate left, which is probably more than what this project I have for this project. So stone cutting will be required to be done. Ooh, look at you building diagonally. Fancy stuff. Another thing that I've yet to sell that I probably should, once I get around to, is the, oh, we can start regrowing Vendetta. Good. Is going and selling any of these xenogerms, banked gene banks that I don't need. So, let's start regrowing Vendetta. There we go. I didn't notice that Vendetta recovered from the infant illness. But we regrow all of our colonists to at least 16. And the baby's xenogerm was implanted, so you're ready. You survived. I'm surprised how few quests I've been offered. I mean, I did get offered that one EMI quest, but wasn't really a fair offering. No one's... I mean, it would be very rare that anyone would be like, oh yeah, unless you're tribal, of course. Yeah, turn the lights off for 7.5 days. Because the amount of damage that does to your to most advanced colonies is so much worse than you know, the rewards. In my case, it would completely halt, you know, waste pack atomizing. It would completely halt the vat growing. It would, you know, it would kill all my crops, and I would have a food shortage. It would be such a problem. What's the hardest thing for new players to grasp in a vanilla game? Just the depth of game mechanics. There's so much to know in RimWorld that I would say, being new to RimWorld, it's just... There is so many game mechanics that you're just not going to learn quickly. And nobody, including myself, has like a complete tutorial about how to play RimWorld, because it's such a complex game that, like, there's just so much to know and learn. So I would say, you know, that's the hardest, is just, you're going to be playing wrong for like hundreds of hours until you learn what's right. The good news is, it's a single player game. It doesn't really matter if you fail. Failing is part of learning. So, you know, even when you stumble and make mistakes and mess up, it's not a big deal. But that's definitely what's most difficult. And a lot of the very basic game mechanics you can learn off the wiki, but some of the more advanced stuff, you're only going to find in like expert RimWorld players, Let's Plays, and things like that. Or tutorials, and you know, there's a lot of stuff that's like way not surface that you can't just like read a tooltip about. That comes with playing an unbelievable amount of hours and discovering for yourself, or discovering it secondhand through RimWorld subreddit or streams like these. Hey, speaking of quests, oh wow, they're giving neuroformers. Are they? So, let's see. Animal Chief of Amtas captured 8 prisoners, has no place to store them, wants me to look after them for 18 days. They are all paralyzed, must be kept in the bed. I will be raided. They will send Edekin after you. There will be a raid roughly of this size, and it is 36 grenadiers. So it's a raid of almost assuredly sappers. Because they're 36 grenadiers. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. And I will be given 14 archers, and they can die of no consequence. Oh, one thing that I will note, Cathanon, is I haven't bothered with that Lord's fix. I, like, you know, haven't gotten around to that. I'll be given 14 heavy archers placed under my control, and I can feed and house them, and they can die of no consequence. And here are the rewards. So, do we guard the prisoners? Yes or no? So one of the things I could do is, if we did accept this quest, I could call in a mech boss, and then right when the mech boss shows up, accept this quest, and then use the 14 heavy archers to throw them at the mech boss as cannon fodder, so that I can kill the mech boss a little bit more easily for a neuroformer. And then this neuroformer pretty obviously would go to Bryzit, because Bryzit already has level 3, and level 4 is a pretty powerful level to reach. So I'll have you guys vote on that for a few minutes, although I suspect I know how you're going to vote. And then you'll vote on the rewards, which is a neuroformer, animus stone, gold, a neuroformer, recon helmet, locust armor, plasteel, or a neuroformer, bionic eye, Eltec staff, and plasteel. And then we would also have to pick specifically what net boss to summon in, because, you know, there's multiple choices. But it's very quick to build their facilities, so it's not much of a problem. Can I egg harvest them? No. They are cannon fodder. But also, their eggs would be all baseliner, so they wouldn't be useful anyway. For the most part. I mean, the baseliner eggs can be useful, but like only as a filter. Wendigo became an adult. Oh, you're kind. That's not bad. Your traits aren't terrible. Let me get reminded of you. Unfortunately, you're a slave only. You're a genetic slave. So, you will not remain free. Well, you're already a slave. Super immunity extracted. Okay. Wendy's armor is pretty close to falling apart as well. We have 57% prestige recon, so that's another thing I'm going to have to do, and then 56% prestige cataphract. Unfortunately, I don't have a ton of gold, so it's kind of a factor. Can a slave become a mechanitor? No. No. No way would Wendy ever allow that. You have to remember that I'm also role-playing, and Wendy would never empower a slave, ever. If you're wondering about game mechanics, like, technically they could, but you would not be able to control the mechs. In the same way. Well, how's that party, Bryzit? Oh, and, why is there a bunny in my room here? Hey, Frosty. Go Lenny it. Yeah, there it goes. So right now, most of our bottleneck is just from a lack of stone. So I'm going to make another stone cutter and have it be slate for any mech, and then copy this and have it be any slave. So any mech and any slave can cut slate on the second shelf. Medical emergency. It's not an emergency. I have like 29 days to give you, or no, I have 11 days, or no, 21 days to give you Psychite. That's not an emergency, friend. Well, the barracks is coming along. We still need a little bit more slate. Oh, Noble's in the crosshairs. 4 anti-grain warheads. Well, I guess we have 2 quests to vote on. And honor, of course. Or some dude named Thomas. The Thomas the Torturer. Okay. First things first, we still have another quest to vote on. But it looks like yes. So we do guard the prisoners. What quest reward? I'm going to Psylink, Anima Stone, Gold, Psylink, Recon, Helm, Locus, Armor, Plasteel, or Psylink, Eltec Staff, and Plasteel. Hope I typed it all up. There you go. So, what reward to do, and then I have you guys vote on what mech boss to tackle. That would be the last one to consider. I'm also building up a snow removal zone because a lot of the colonists have dark vision now and can move around in the dark at full speed and they don't have like in darkness penalties. So I might as well roof this up and then remove the snow so that I just move around the perimeter of the base faster. Wasn't a voted goal, but I mean, it makes sense to do. So that we can circle the perimeter of the base more quickly. And then, of course, the roof will stop snow from building up in that spot. I missed a roof by the north door. I guess I could roof up the airlocks too, but I don't see that I missed a roof. Wow, look at how happy you are cutting stone. I should probably not allow Kath to do that though. Cathanons. Or, not Cathanon, T-Sang. Who's not regrowing? You're not regrowing. Okay, we're going to Anima Stone and Gold. Alright, then the last question I have is, what mech boss to summon? Diabolus, War Queen, or Apocryton? So the benefit of Diabolus is it gives me more signal chips for gestation implants. The benefit of War Queen is it would give Mass the ability to get better remote shielder, or actually there's not a lot of benefit for War Queen right now, because for me to really benefit from a War Queen, low would need more control implants. And Apocryton would give me nanos, which could give me waste pack atomizers. So my waste packs are at 75 for reference. Still working on that barracks. So what I think I'm going to do is have the barracks have like the doors split or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out once the building's done. Did they buff Waste Pack Atomizer at release? They were pretty bad. They are a little bit faster, I think, but I'd have to read the patch notes. But I wouldn't say it's a significant buff. Really at all, compared to what you maybe remember. They're still very slow, but it's for balancing reasons. Alright, looks like Apocryton's gonna win, so let me get the Mech Band dish ready. Also wouldn't be a terrible idea to clinch a true alliance with the Royals before I start popping off on the Apocrytons. Just as a safety net. So what is T-Sang working on? Sleeping. Of course he is. Thomas Ross, thanks for gifting out a sub to Ascendancy. And Ascendancy, thank you for the raid. My everything, my alerts broke or something. But I only do this manually. I appreciate it. How was playing Dota today? And welcome. I haven't had a raid from you in quite some time. I always find it really hard to raid you, though, because you stream it at such a time that you're never on when I'm ending. It's always the inverse. I'm also going to open up Chemfuel to any worker, because I have a lot of bug meat, and we're just not processing it into Chemfuel. And we definitely have a deficit of Chemfuel, so Apocryton it is. Alrighty. You're recovering from partying? you're not playing your best? I get that. I'm recovering from a long day of travel today, so I'm not playing my best. I had my own main character in this series nuke herself. She didn't die, but it was not top form. I'll put it that way. Usually I'm more careful than that. So T-Sing is now working on just components and advanced components. Boring, but needed. My current relationship with Inalor is pretty low. I could call them in as allies and not lose them as allies, but I really want to cinch the Glitterworld Alliance again. Unfortunately, I just don't have a lot of trade goods to be able to send them at the moment. Still working on that old barracks, too. So the current priority now is build a barracks, kill a Pocraton, and Edakin raids with prisoners. So the prisoner raid is a little tricky because I don't really have a prison to accommodate 8 prisoners. The other thing is the noblemen of the crosshairs. Let me read this quest so you know what you're voting on. It is a duchess wants to stay. So duchesses have relatively high bedroom requirements. So I would need to build a bedroom that fulfills the title requirements of duchess. And it's her and a 1-court ally. They are also paralyzed and have to remain happy and will spawn a double-sized mech cluster. The rewards are pretty decent, though. It is honor, antigrain warheads, which are like nukes, and a ton of gold, or Thomas. I wouldn't accept Thomas. I mean, that's ridiculous. But honor or nukes and a giant bag of gold. As for the Duchess title, let's see what a Duchess requires so that we know, if accepted, what we would have to do. So Duchess wants a bedroom that is all fine floored, a royal bed, an end table, a dresser, a drape. So yeah, we don't have an all fine floored bedroom. Nothing even close other than Wendy's. So that would be something that we'd have to build. With that said, 4 antigrain warheads and 747 gold is 12,000 value. So it is a ridiculously rewarding quest. Just expensive to set up for. Thankfully, I have 5 days to wait to set up for it before I have to accept it or not. So it's very possible in 5 days to build said ridiculously expensive bedroom, especially considering I'm currently working on a barracks project to house more people. So, you know, we're actually working. Oh God, that is rot stink because we have insect meat stored indoors. All right, let me remedy that briefly. Put insect meat in here, like just on the floor. That way we're not letting it rot in our base and stinking everything up. Critical Foxes, why are you wondering? You on the wrong group or something? No, you're on recharge. Go dormant. Oh, you know what? The recharge zone might be too small now. Yeah, it was too small. The interaction spots were, like, not allowed. That's funny. Actually, I'm going to allow all meat to be stored in here, because we do have some random animal meat that occasionally decays out here on the shelves as well. I'm not really sure why I set these shelves up to allow for random meat, but whatever. Easy enough to fix in the short run. Alright, so it looks like we are going to host a Duchess. So this is going to get real complicated. But what reward? 12 honor or 4 anti-grain and 700 plus gold. You guys voted on that. Let me summon the Apocryton as soon as Wendy's up. And then once the Apocryton shows up, we will accept the guards. I'm very close to having the barracks built as well. I just need some more slate chunks. And slate chunks should be made with both Chimic and Cath. Yeah. Good. Oops. I just need to make sure that T-Sang's not working on that, because T-Sang needs to be smithing or tailoring. I am also probably very close to running out of gene bank space, so it would be a good idea to call in a trade caravan. So I'm going to do that now of exotic goods. Oh, it's good to know. You should be on work group. All right, Wendy is up. And I'll get her to bring in that Apocryton. So it's an Apocryton with 2 Diaboluses and a War Queen. Wow, spicy. Is Mass carrying Lucy? Yes. So yeah, that's a very spicy raid. Don't want to repeat it last time? Yeah, no kidding. And it looks like we're going to accept the Duchess for the antigrains. So I'm going to want another royal bed. And that's going to be made by Wendy. And hopefully it's actually better than Wendy's bed. So the Apocryton is incoming. And I'm going to have... the uranium over here is tapped. So I'm going to break that down and move the drill. I'm assuming that Cactus, yeah, has been mining the silver up here. Which there's still a few nodes left. Alright, so here's the royal bed for the Duchess. And then the other thing with the Duchess is 30 cells, was it? So that's a 5x6. That's 4x5. So it would have to be Bryzett's bedroom. Which is, yeah. Still not big enough by 2. But if I knock out 2 of the back walls, it will meet the requirements. And then we'll fine floor it up. So with the fine floors, let's go ahead and prep that. I'm just going to stockpile steel here to make hex floors, because hex floors are relatively inexpensive fine floors. And we'll get the Duchess's requirements met as fast as we can. Still working on that barracks, though. I'm just busy little bee. Busy, busy, busy. So as soon as the Apocryton shows up, we will accept guarding for Bacchus. And then the other thing that I'm going to need is beds for said prisoners. But these prisoners are all going to be paralyzed. How long? They're staying, what, 18 days? So I don't really care if they're sleeping nicely or not. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sleep on the floor. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Fine by me. it looks as if we have the rice to accommodate. So. Oh my lord, that is a lot of meat everywhere. It's getting messy. The animal meat. Let me make a point. I don't remember bringing that animal meat. But let me make a point of putting the animal meat on the hoppers here, so that they aren't taking up freezer space. Okay, Wendy's bed is good. Please be better than good. Please. Masterwork! Oh, yes! Fantastic. All right, Bryzit, you're gonna lose your bedroom. It's not because I don't love you. You get to sleep with Frosty and Low for the time being. What a masterwork bed. That's great. And then this is going to go in there. Wendy's old bed. And then she's obviously going to take the masterwork bed because she'll sleep like instantly with that thing. So this, at least for now, will be Bryzit's. And then Bryzit will lose that bed once the Duchess shows up. It really is moot, because all the bedrooms are going to be put into the barracks. I don't think, with any exceptions. So we've got that. I do need to do the flooring. And then we need the drape, I believe. Let me double check. Nope, that's sanguiphage. Let me try that again. So, Duchess. Roll bed, end table, dresser, drape, all fine floors. So we just need the drape in here. And then, of course, fine floors. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld, the first Wendigo, which originally streamed live on Twitch, February 19th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Wendigos.